Hello and welcome to the Affiliate Hustle live training. So if you were here last week, that's great. If you were not, no worries. But last week we were talking about the usage of images on native ads. And in today's Affiliate live training, Affiliate Hustle live training, we are going to focus on images once more. But today we are going to focus on the images on push. All right, so the images that you want to use and how you pick them and which images exactly you're going to use is going to be completely different if you switch traffic source. All right, I think that makes sense. It's a different traffic source, so it's a different form of ad. So that comes with a different image as well. All right. So for push, it is important to remember that push messages are not that big. All right, and especially if we take a look at the image, they're not that big. So we need to consider that. All right, so I'm inside of Zeropark right now, and when we create a new campaign inside of Zeropark, we actually get to see a preview. And that's exactly what we're going to use today to make sure that our images look good. All right, and I recommend you to do the same if you're going to use images for your push campaign. Drop them in this box right here, and then you'll get a short little preview. And that preview, how you can see that preview, that's also how the user is going to see your ad. So this is a very useful tool, and we'll use it today to check how our images will show up when we create an ad. All right, so first things first, let's just start with creating an image of things that we do not want to do. All right, and then you'll also see immediately why we do not want to do those specific things. Okay, so I've got Canva open here, and we need the dimensions of 192 by 192. All right, so those are pretty common dimensions for a push campaign, no matter what traffic source you use. It will usually have the 192 by 192. So that's this size, all right? However, if we're inside of Canva, this still looks pretty big, right? It looks pretty big. So it's going to look a lot smaller, of course, for the user, which is why we want to preview it here and check what it's going to look like. All right, so let's use a example. So a very hot offer, or vertical I should say, on push is the casino vertical. So if we type in casino, these are all kinds of results that you may get. However, these are not the images that you want to use. And I'm going to show you why right now. So we have this beautiful image, man in a suit, in a tuxedo, slot machines behind him, looks great. All right, so we're going to save this image. Let's say we want to use this for our push campaign. We're going to upload it to Canva so that we can get it into that 192 by 192 dimensions. All right. It still looks pretty good. It still looks okay if we look at it at Canva. All right. Now we're going to download it. So we're going to download this 192 by 192 picture. And then when we go inside of Zeropark and we upload it, look how small that is. Let's click on it. Look how small that is. No user will ever be able to tell that these are slot machines and these in a casino. And if they're even able to tell that this guy is in a casino, they need so much attention to find that out that they probably will just disregard your message. So this is exactly a great example of what we do not want to do. There's too much going on in the picture. It's unclear. It looks just shitty if you receive a push message like this. It doesn't attract any attention of the user. It doesn't create any curiosity, right? Maybe the curiosity on this image is like, what's going on and why is that image so small? But other than that, there will be no curiosity because the majority of the users will not be able to see what is happening in the image. So real life pictures can work if you have the right image, but it doesn't look great usually. All right, of course there are some exceptions here and there, but usually these will not work too well. All right, So if we step away from the pictures and we type in casino clip art, for example, then we will get more results of kind of like the angle that we want to move towards. All right. So then we have another example right here. Let's use this one as an example. Okay. So we have cool, all kinds of casino clip art. Forget this text in the middle. All right. And look what happens when we create that into a 192 by 192 dimensions. Then it will look, it's just downloading, like this. All right, so we don't have a picture. That's good because the picture was very unnoticeable and just looks weird. So now we have all kinds of clip art, but there is so much going on, right? We have so many small details and small elements in this picture that it's still very hard to see what's going on. All right. I mean, right here, I can tell there are some dice. There are 3 7s, so it's probably a slot machine. So it's okay. But if we look at these ones, it's even harder to tell. And once again, this is how the user will perceive your image. This is how they will see it. And this is the size that they will see it. So it is very small. So let's delete these. All right, and we're gonna take a look to see if we can find an image that fits better. All right, so this one would be better, but it's not a squared image. It has a transparent background though, so that's good because I actually want to try something. So let's get rid of this. And right here we have the option to change the color of our background, which we might want to use. In the meantime, I'm going to upload this image that we just downloaded. All right, I'm gonna crop it myself because I don't really like the way that they do it. So always check it, don't just auto crop it. Always check what it's gonna look like. I probably wanted something like this, all right? And because we now have an image with a transparent background, that means that we can change the background, all right? So you can pick a color that pops maybe a little bit more, or that fits with the image. All right, so you can basically select a color that you want if you have a transparent background. And then when we download this, there's still a lot going on in this image, right? We still have that slot in the front. We have this roulette table. We have the cards and the chips. So there's still a lot going on. We could probably find an image that gives us more rest, where the icon is more primary. But let's check it out, right? We can just run it through the test. All right, so that's still very small. So this is the perfect way to test whether this image is going to work or not. In this case, it's still very small. It's still very hard to see what's going on in the image. So that is most likely going to be a problem. So we still need to look for something else. By the way, if you do have any questions along the way, or if you want me to review one of your push campaign images, feel free to write a message down below in the comments, and then we can discuss your question or discuss the creatives that you have. All right, so let's look for something else. So we want something like this, but we want more rest. We want something very specific. So something like this will probably work a lot better. Let's download this, and we're gonna run it through the test again. All right, perfect. And then we're gonna delete this. I'll leave the background for now, but we can change it in a minute. And then if we put this casino here, once again, I'm going to crop it myself. All right, put it in the middle. Now we can change the background. Okay, so the red is probably not working great, right? Because this logo already has a lot of red and yellow in it, orange, yellow, kind of. So that means that the contrast is really there. So that's something we talked about last week as well. But if you weren't there, I will give you a little summary. So we were talking about the 5 different points of native images, and a couple of them also apply on push ads. So the contrast is one of them. We want to create some contrast, because if the contrast is good, if there is good contrast in the colors that you use in your image, then your image will pop more. All right. Now, what do I mean when I say it will pop more? Basically, it will pop out of the screen. It will scream for so much attention that the user cannot do anything else but to look at your push notification, all right? Because these bright colors tend to ask that attention. So let's see what color fits best for this specific image. Probably something like this, right? The yellow and the orange really comes through on that blue. I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter, like this. All right, so now the contrast is better, and we can also try to adjust the image itself. So Canva really gives you some nice opportunities if you press on adjust. So right here we have the brightness, the contrast, the saturation. Those basically are the three that I use the most. And then underneath you'll have some other options as well. And what I usually do is I just play around with them. So I just check, okay, what does it do with my image? Do I like it or do I not like it? If we drag it down, it's going to be very dark. It's not going to get a lot of attention. If we pull it up, it's going to be very, very bright, right? So I'm just going to leave it around that 0. For the contrast, we can probably up that a bit. You see that orange yellowy kind of thing? That pops a lot more. It gets a lot brighter. So that's what the contrast will do for you. And the saturation also makes those colors a little bit brighter. As you can see, especially the lettering, the red around the word casino is getting a lot brighter when we put the saturation up a bit. And now that we've done those two, we can also check once again, okay, do we need to do something with the brightness? I'm probably going to leave it on 0 on this one. All right. So this is how you can adjust your images to see if you can create a little bit more contrast, and the saturation one can basically push those bright colors out a little bit more as well. All right. So now let's download this. Let's see and let's check inside of Zeropark how this would look if the user would receive it. Now, this is a lot clearer. It's still hard to read, for me at least right now. But it's a lot clearer. There's a lot more rest in the picture, and the user may or may not be able to read it. So perhaps we need to look more of an icon without any text, but at least we have a lot more rest in this specific picture if you compare it to this one where there's so much going on that it's really hard to tell, okay, what am I looking at? All right. So if we stay in the casino for just one more second, we can try to find something that will be more applicable. A slot machine would be pretty cool. Although this one does not have a transparent background, which means that the background will stay white. All right. So I personally don't really like that, but it may be a choice. You may want to test it. But overall, I think the more screaming, more brighter backgrounds will work a little bit better. Let's see if we have a good one around here. So to find images, I usually just Google, oh, this is a good one. This is a very good one. So this background is not transparent and the quality is a little bit off as well. But the idea of the icon, just 2 chips in a green circle, that's perfect, right? So if you put this on a 194 or 192, I'm sorry, 192 by 192 dimensions, then you're still able to see that these are poker chips. All right. So that's what we want to create with our push images. So let's see if we can find a better one for a casino offer, and then we're going to try some of these on different verticals as well to see how it would work if we are not promoting a casino offer, but something completely else. So I wouldn't use something like this. It looks a little bit weird. I don't think that a lot of users will be able to see it's a roulette table straight away. So I probably wouldn't use something like that. Let's change clip art into icon. All right, let's see what kind of results we get when we do that. So this might be an option, right? So just a chip from the top. Let's see how that works. All right, so we're gonna get it into the right dimensions. We're gonna upload it into Canva. All right. So now once again, we can change the background if we want, since this is a transparent background, but we're gonna just leave it for now. And we're gonna download this and then drop it in here. And let's check the preview. So look at that. This is perfectly clear. You can see that it's a poker chip. It's very clear that in the middle there's a $sign. So even though this is a very, very small image, because that's just the way push works, right? We just have very, very small images. 192 by 192 is not very big. So we have to do what we have to do, and our images need to be visible, right? The user that receives our push image needs to be able to see what's going on in the image, okay? So that is one. Another tip that I have for you is, I've seen this actually. I've seen some users do stuff like this. Free casino entry, or first 500 coins on us, whatever, right? Whatever you're trying to say. Let's make it white. So make it a little bit bigger. I've actually seen this, especially in some spy tools, where they put text on top of it. And I'm going to show you right now why we do not want to do that. Okay, so this is the preview of the same chip, but then with text. It's very, very hard to read. And the fact that we entered that text on top of the image also makes that we can barely see what's going on with the image, right? I cannot see that there's a $sign in here. The fact that I know it makes me see it, but if I didn't know, I would not be able to tell. So the text is just, it's almost never readable, and it's gonna draw or draw a lot of attention to it, even though we might want to have that attention on the icon. All right, so this, nobody's able to see that it's a poker chip, which is a problem, because that's exactly what we do want them to show, so that they get enthused and start reading the headline, etc., etc. So do not put text on your push image, as it will not work. Okay. All right. So let's apply this to a different vertical. So for example, dating is also a pretty big vertical on push. So for dating, what could you do for dating? Well, first let's start with dating icon. If we type in dating icon. So something like this might work, right? It's clear, it's a heart, there's not too much going on. So that might be a good one. I probably wouldn't do this, but we can run a test. I think there's too much going on, right? With those two faces, the little heart here, the stuff here. So I think this one will be a little bit an overkill, basically. But we can test it. We can check it out and see what the preview will look like if we add this to Zeropark. So let's see. Whoops. All right. So let's download this, and then we're going to go back to the preview of Zeropark. Okay, so it's actually not too bad. It's not too bad. I can still see that these are two faces. I can see the little blue heart. Because of those faces in front of the bigger heart, it gets a little bit tougher to see the bigger heart and to actually notice it as a heart. So I probably, if I would see this, I wouldn't necessarily put the link with dating or love life or something like that right away. It's still, in my opinion, a little bit of an overkill, a little bit too much going on. We want to keep that rest in the image of the push notification, but it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. All right, but we just need to tone it down just a little bit. So let's see what else we have here. This would be something good. This would be something good. Basically, the hearts are pretty easy to work with. This one probably doesn't have enough to it, right? So even though you might have a very colorful background underneath this, there is just not enough going on. So we don't want very busy icons or images, but then also we want to catch that attention. So if we do this with a background, we only have these black lines on top of the background. So probably a no-go for me, but let's see what else we have. All right. Yeah, okay, so those hearts, we kind of discussed that. I think we're good on that. Also a very interesting one, probably not as much used on dating, maybe on adult dating, I'm not quite sure. But the notification kind of angle for the image, right? So when I say notification, I mean like WhatsApp icon, for example, right? You've probably seen these all the time on push spy tools, on somebody else's follow along, whatever it is. These images get used quite a lot, but let's just check it out. And then you also see why they get used quite a lot. All right. We do need that notification here. So right now it's just the WhatsApp logo. Let's change the background to... oh, the background just deleted the image. All right. Let's make it into light gray. And then we're gonna put that on top. And then we want a little notification bell. Or maybe we can even just get a WhatsApp notification image. That would be even better. Perfect. Something like this. Yep. All right. Let's save this image. And then we're going to remove this for just 1 second. And put that back to white. All right. Let's see. Okay, cool. So let's download this, and then we're going to put it into the preview of Zeropark to see what it will look like. There we go. All right, so this looks very much like the user just has received a message through WhatsApp. And that, of course, creates the curiosity that we talked about a little bit earlier as well. Because what do you do when you notice that you have a notification? That's right, you tap on the notification to check out what it is. And that's exactly what this flow tries to do. And then we could say something like, Mia just send you a message. All right, so that would look something like this. Mia just sent you a message, and then with the WhatsApp logo right here with the notification. This image is a little bit off-centered, so I would make sure that you have the right image and that it fits perfectly in that notification, but you get the gist of it, a WhatsApp logo with a 1. However, this is going to be different for every geo, all right? So for some geos, WhatsApp is going to be very, very popular. I think especially a lot of the European countries use WhatsApp quite a lot. However, for some other countries, I think especially Asia uses Telegram quite a lot. So then it's going to be Telegram. So something like this, right? And for another different geo, for example, United States uses quite a lot of the Facebook Messenger. All right, Facebook Messenger icon. So they will be using this. So depending on the geo that you are promoting, you might want to use a different notification images, or you can just use the notification bell, which has been used quite a lot. Bell, perfect. Yeah, so this is one of the more so-called standards, I would say. You'll see these quite a lot, all right? So it may be good to run a test with a notification bell, but I wouldn't pin down on it too much, as a lot of affiliates and media buyers use the notification bell for their push campaigns, which might reduce the strength of it, right? It might cause a little bit of blindness for the user. They've seen it so many times. Oh, it's just another ad, and they won't really pay that much attention to it. So it is an option. It may be worth testing. Are you going to build your whole campaign around a notification bell? No, probably not. Okay. All right, so let's move to another vertical, and let's say we want to promote sweepstakes. So when we're doing sweepstake images, what do we want to do? What do we need to do? All right, so for sweepstakes, for example, let's say one of those, what are these called? Those supermarket vouchers, right? So I think it's ASDA or something is one of those offers. Right, perfect. So there are a couple different options, right? You can just put in the logo. I personally think it's a little bit boring, all right? It may work, so let's actually test this. So save image. It's already squared, but just to make sure, I want to get it in the right dimensions. All right, so let's upload this real quick. And whoop. Perfect. And then we're going to download this. And then let's check what that would look like inside of Zeropark. We're going to drop it in. All right, so that would look something like that. Very clear, very basic though, but very clear image, logo, very nice. Then you might want to do something else, right? Because you're not going to create, I don't know, 40, 50 creatives with just this logo. So you might want to split test something up. But then what are you going to do? So I've seen these a lot, where you enter basically a storefront into your image, right? Or something like this, whatever. However, this is going to be a problem. And I'll show you why. Let's save this image. And it is possible to do real images. Let me just repeat that. It is possible. It's not that it's never going to work. However, if we get this image into the right dimensions, something like that. All right, let's get the storefront in the middle. All right, now it still looks okay. All right, it's just an ASDA entrance. So if we drop it in here, now it's just a regular storefront. We cannot see that it's ASDA. So what am I looking at? I'm just looking at the entrance of a building. Does anybody give a shit about the entrance of a building? No, probably not. So if you want to do a storefront, make sure that the name of the store is very visual, all right? So that it's very big in the middle of the screen and you can't miss it. Something like this, right? So this isn't even the storefront. This is just a picture of the logo at a storefront, but this may be working. And let's see if we have some relevant images to see if we can find something where we maybe get a little bit more, maybe see the storefront, but still very much put the focus on the logo instead of the store itself. Let's see. Yeah, so looking at these results, I would probably go with just the as the sign at a storefront and not the storefront itself. All right. So then I would probably go with this one. Might be okay. Looks like the same building as the previous image. Or ooh, where did I see that one? Just saw one where I was like, oh yeah, I want to use that one. See, all right, here it is. All right, so this one is pretty nice. We have that green surrounding behind the logo, and then the majority of the image is the logo, all right? So if we do this, we're gonna save it, and then we're gonna upload it to Canva. Remove this. Okay. So it's still a storefront, it's still a sign, but the focus is on the sign. That's the difference right here. All right, so when we upload this, it's still visible. I need to put a little bit more effort in to see that it's as that than on this image, of course, where it's just the logo, just the name. However, this is still visible. You can still see, this is a Asda storefront, where this one is just too random, all right? Too random. So that's an option if you have sweepstakes for a supermarket or anything like that. But there are more options, of course, for sweepstakes. So let's see what we can find. Enter and win. Let's see what kind of icons we get. Enter to win, blah, blah, blah. Okay, probably not the best search term. Let's see. This may be okay. This may actually be okay. Let's try it out, all right? By the way, once again, if you have any questions or you want me to take a look at your push creatives to give some feedback, please let me know in the comments so that I can either answer your question or help you out with your creatives. So this one is actually, I think, still pretty good. We're going to check in the preview, but I think we might be good on this one. Okay, it's going to be very small, all right? Especially that enter to is going to be very small. The win is a little bit bigger, so that's good. But yeah, it's okay. I think we can find better ones, but it is okay. So for sweepstakes, we can also do stuff like this, all right? So gift box icon. All right, I always like to put that icon straight behind. Just to make sure that I find the right images. Something like this may work. Or, you know which ones are also awesome? Those party popper. I guess, I don't know what to call them. Yeah, exactly, those. All right, perfect. So these are pretty good to use as well. This one is a little bit boring to me. And I wouldn't use those black and white ones. I want some color in them. But perhaps we can find a good one. This one, maybe worth a shot. Let's see this one. So yeah, there are some good ones out here that you can use for your sweepstakes campaign. So yeah, you can basically, whenever it's an icon or clip art, you can usually use the majority of them. Right, look at these. You can almost use any of these to test, right? So there's not too much going on. It's clear what it is. It's big enough. Let me show you actually. Let's use this one as an example. For this one, I'm not going to crop it. It's already squared. I just want to show you how it's going to look in the preview. Look at that. That's pretty clear that it's a party popper. We have quite a lot of different colors looking at that confetti, but it's still clear what is being done here, right? It's still clear, okay, there's a party going on, or I want something, something like that, all right? So you can definitely use those as well for a sweepstake campaign. All right. Let's move to something else. Let's move to gaming, for example. Gaming is also a upcoming vertical on push. So for games clip art, let's see what we can get. All right. So these are all no good, right? When we talk about gaming, we talk about the downloadable games, so apps, that kind of stuff. These are no good. Let's see what else we can do. Game install. Icon, of course. I need to add icon. All right, let's see. No, probably not the right search term as well. So what we want to do for the gaming niche, you could do something like this, right? This is the Play Store. But if you do something like this, I'm sorry, this is Google Play. But if you do something like this, then you want to make sure that you separate it into the different audiences. Because if you are gonna send this to Apple users, then they're gonna be like, what? I don't even use Google Play. All right, so why do I receive a message with a Google Play logo? So that is just weird. So do not do that. All right. So let's see. For games, what could we do? Game install, we did that. Mobile game icon. Just some random search terms usually find you the best images, to be quite honest. Everybody's going to do the standard ones. All right. Maybe this will work. All right, so we have that. It's not a transparent background. I know it looks like it, but it's not, because this one already has it. But apart from that, it's a pretty good image. There's a red circle. There's huge contrast, right? We have that white, and that red gives us a huge contrast. So that's pretty good. It's very clear what's going on. It's a phone or a tablet somewhat with a game console inside of it. So everybody will get what it's all about. So that's pretty good. Let's see if we can find another one right here. All right. So even though they look quite alike, we still might want to use both. All right. So if we download this one, that will look like this. And if we download the other one as well, right here, I'm going to save this as well. And that would look like that. So they look very much alike. However, they have a total different color, which gives a total different feel to the ad. All right. So those are also the tests that you want to do. Try different colors. Maybe different colors as in the background. Maybe different colors as in the image itself. But as soon as you enter different colors, you will very soon get a better understanding of what seems to be working and what not, right? So then you will be able to do some more optimization, and then the next bunch of creatives that you're going to add, you can use that analysis that you've done during the optimization and say, okay, maybe blue images work and red images don't work, or the other way around, right? So you want to test that out and see which icons are performing best, okay? Then we can also use emojis. So you can use emojis here, of course, in the description and in the title. Those are great. I definitely recommend you to use those. However, we can also use a emoji as a picture. It's not done quite often, but it is possible. So slot emoji, for example. Moving back to the casino a little bit. So this one, for example. Let's download this. And it's just a regular emoji, just like you might have on your phone. Gonna upload this into the design. Then we're gonna change the background. All right. So you can even try this same image with multiple backgrounds, and you will see that those different backgrounds will get you different results on them as well. Whoops. And everything gone. No worries, just the image. Let's try green, all right? Let's see how that will look. All right, so now we have a green background with the slot machine, and then we can download it and we can upload it to Zeropark, and then it would look like this. All right, so you can also just use emojis. You can use a slot emoji, but you can also use different emojis. So if you're, for example, if you're in the adult niche, then maybe the peach emoji might be perfect, right? It doesn't say anything, but at the same time, it says a lot. All right. So these are also funny ways of using your push image to suggest something to the user. All right. So you can definitely do that as well. I wouldn't use too many of these emoji pictures for your push campaign, so maybe add a couple to split test them, but I wouldn't consist all of emojis, just because you want to make sure that you test different types of images as well. All right. So once again, if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. If you want me to take a look at your push images, also please reply in the comments and send me your picture so that I can take a look at it and give you some feedback on what you can improve. All right. So I suggest we actually do some feedback, some reviewing right now. So let's go inside of Anstrax and see if we can get some good and or bad examples of images on push notifications. All right. So right now we're inside of native, but we're going to switch it over to push once it's loaded. Let me get rid of this. All right. So we're going to go to Anstrax push. And I'm going to change the language to English just to make sure that if we find an image that we do like, for example, that we are able to read the headline and the description to see what it's all about and to see if it's a good fit for the offer, of course. All right. So here we go. Let's see what we can find. All right. Let's see. So we have a Bitcoin offer right here with an icon and an image. So some traffic sources give you the option to add a icon as well as a image. And then for some others, it's going to be just an icon like this one right here, for example. You'll see it twice the same one. This basically means, okay, they have only one image to use. So this is one of these examples that perform pretty well. We have a blue circle with a what is it? A megaphone in it, I guess it's called. So yeah, this will get quite a lot of attention. It's good visible. It's very visible when you receive it on a 192 by 192 dimensions. So it's a pretty good image. This one, however, I think this one will not work very well. Let's actually download it and see how it would look inside of Zeropark, because inside of Zeropark, of course, be the size that the user will see it. So the user will not see it this big. All right. Just remember that even if you're using a spy tool, you're not seeing it the size that the user is seeing it. All right. It's not centered. Hold on. All right. So then it would be something like this, right? Let's download it. The quality is off as well, by the way, but that may be because I downloaded it from him. But let's check. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but still, you can't really see what's going on. I see somebody handing something, but that's as far as I can get. I cannot see that he's in some sort of Superman suit and that he has tons of money with him. So not a very good image, just because there is a little bit too much going on. Okay? This one as well. Okay, so we see two cars and we see one hand here and one person standing here. This is going to be too small if you receive this on a push notification, and you will not be able to see what's going on. All right. Perhaps you're able to recognize that these are two cars, but that's about as far as it can get. So not a great image here. Let's see what else we have. All right. So these are obviously adult offers. They use an image of a woman. Might be okay, but it is very small, so the user will probably see it somewhat like this. Are you able to recognize it? Yes. Will it get you a lot of attention? Maybe. I don't know. So this is one of the examples that we talked about today. A very simple slots icon. This one uses text actually, but in this case, it's not on top of the image. It's kind of on top of the image, but behind the text, there's nothing really going on, nothing too busy. And the text is not disturbing you from looking to something else. Okay. I would probably use a background image on this one, by the way. I think on the white, it's a little bit too boring. All right, let's see what else we have. Let's see if we can get some good examples of what to do or what not to do. All right, so this one is just cash. I probably wouldn't do this. All right, Yes, you are able to see that it's cash, even if it's going to be on a smaller size, but there's not a lot of contrast on the image. That's for one. And two, there's not really a lot of curiosity. We just see a pack of money, and I know what it suggests. It suggests that you can make money yourself as well. Let's actually take a look at this headline. $10 free demos, start trade, blah, 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 100% deposit bonus, free demo register. Okay, so I think this image is not suitable for a Bitcoin kind of, or at least crypto offer. I would not use a picture of cash like this. Instead, you could use an image like this. You have one unread message, earn £4,412 in a day, quick profit. All right, so it's the same vertical, right? It's both the probably the crypto vertical. This may be make money online, but it's probably crypto as well. It's the same vertical, but it uses a completely different image, and this image will probably get more attention than this image. All right, this is just an image of cash. That's it. We know it's not ours. It's not coming our way magically, whatever. So it's just an ad, and we know it. Where this one, we are tempted to see, okay, we have one unread message. Who sent us a message? All right, what is the message about? Can I really earn £4,000 in a day? That's awesome, right? So we want to learn more about it because this image is kind of pulling us into the ad. Okay. Ooh, I like this one. I like this one. I wonder how visible it's going to be. So let's check this. But I like the image. So it is a slot machine, but it's not as basic. We have quite some contrast, and we have those lights, and then we have the coins falling from the top. So let's actually see what this does when we put it inside of Zeropark. That's actually already the right dimensions, and I'm just going to upload it like this for now. Okay, so it's going to be very small once again, right? So it looks like an awesome picture, but as soon as you drop it in the preview, you will see how small it will actually get and how invisible that may cause it to become. And thus we can eliminate this image and instead look for a slot machine where it's more clear that it's a slot machine, where the focus is more on the slot machine. Not to say that the focus is not on the slot machine on this one, but there's too much going on around it, which creates this feeling of everything blending in the image. All right, so we kind of want to prevent that by putting the focus very much on the slot machine itself and creating more contrast. All right, so with the background, I'm talking about the contrast. The contrast is very, the background is very dark, and it kind of blends with the slot machine. All right, let's do one more, unless anybody has any questions or want me to review your push image, then this is your time to shoot a message down below in the comments section so I can still take a look at your creatives or answer your question if you have any questions about images on push ads. In the meantime, we're going to look a little bit further. Ooh, I love this. So we have a stop sign, right? So stop signs are not round, but actually have these like 8 or I don't know how many corners. So they have these lines. So that's great. Everybody's able to recognize, oh, that's a stop sign. And then we have this hand here. So it causes us to think, ooh, something is wrong. What's going on? Do I have a virus? Am I being hacked? Is my money stolen? What's going on? All right, so that's good. I like this image. Safety first, secure your phone now. That's the text on this creative. I think the headline could definitely be stronger. Also, watch the capitalization on the headline. And secure your phone now. We don't have the pain yet, right? So safety first doesn't say anything. All right, that's just a saying. Everybody knows safety first. Doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything. Secure your phone now. Okay, secure it from what? All right, you are giving me the image with a stop sign, right? So basically, if you use this stop image, then you're basically implying hold up, something is very wrong and this needs your attention right now. That's the feeling that you want to get. So then in your headline, put something like, you might be hacked, or your photos are up for the grabs. I don't know, something like that, all right? So you want to give them the pain, you almost want to threat them in the headline. You want to give them the pain, and then if you say secure your phone now, then the user is like, oh, I do want to secure my pictures. I do want to secure my phone because you just said that I might be hacked, and then you will get the click, all right? So good image, bad copy. All right, let's see if we can find some more. So here we have one of those black and white images. I am not personally a big fan of, but what it does make it very clear what's going on in the image, even if it's at a smaller size, all right? So this will be around the size that it will be, and it's still very clear what's going on. It's somewhat like a hacker or something like that. Virus in your mobile phone, remove now before it's too late. So this is exactly what I was talking about with the previous ad. This one gives the problem first. There's a virus in your phone, all right? We need your attention because something is wrong. There's a virus in your phone. And then after stating the problem, we go to the solution. Remove now before it's too late. And how do you remove it? Obviously by clicking on our ad and converting, basically. All right. Cool. So big session. We talked a lot about these push images. So far most important is the size. Push images are very small, so we need to be able to see what's going on with your picture, in your picture, even on a size like this. So if there's too much going on like this slot machine, you won't really see what's going on. But then if we have this slot machine, all of a sudden it's completely clear. So we want to make sure that everything is visible in our image, and we tend to use icons or clip art images for that. All right. So that is going to be it for this Affiliate Hustle live training, but no worries. Next week there will be another training, so make sure to tune in, and next week we will be talking about native ads. So I'll see you then. Bye bye.